What is happening? It's the Nintendo Powercast, and there might be something special in the works. I have a very special guest. DJ, what's up, baby?
Hey, thanks for having me today, Josh. Glad to be here. This is awesome. I think we're going to be talking something a little extra special today, something near and dear to my heart.
Something that I get in trouble for all the time. We're talking about Pokemon. So, that happens. Before we jump into it, I want to let you guys know that Pokemon Show is going to be, as long as we want to get some feedback and everything, but this is going to become a regular part of NPC. Pokemon is going to become a major factor within the Nintendo Powercast, and this might even branch off into its very own show in the future if you guys are into it. So before
enough support for it, let us know if you like it.
Exactly. Yeah. So before we get too far, I got to let you guys know there is a brand new NPC Splatoon inspired t-shirt. And it's not just t-shirts, guys. There's coffee mugs, there's pint glasses, there's a lot. n64josh.com/store to head on over to the storefront and see all of the NPC merch. There's going to be monthly merch for NPC that are going to be inspired by different games within Nintendo. And I can tell you right now that next month's is going to be Pokemon inspired. So be on the lookout. So much
cool stuff
for
you can do with Pokemon.
Yes. I'm gonna have to you're gonna have to help me out there. So I did just get a haircut so I could try to look like the professor, which we're gonna talk about a little bit later. If you guys are watching this on YouTube, you just saw him. I do want to invite everybody to the Discord if you're looking to find people to play Pokemon with, especially with the multiplayer aspect of Scarlet and Violet coming soon. This is a good place to come hang out. n64josh.com/discord. And with that, DJ, I'm going to let you kind of kick this off here because you have put together extensive show notes for us. This is going to be kind of your everything you need to know about Scarlet and Violet. So take it away, my friend.
All right, we're going to do our best here to cover everything worth noting, everything interesting, hopefully. If we missed something, let us know. Shout at us, let us know what we missed, and maybe we'll cover it next week. But yeah, so this new Pokemon game, whenever they do something this new, I'm always cautious about it. So because I'm a hardcore fan of the originals. I love all the Pokemon games. I've beaten every single one of them. But I'm a pretty big fan of like the OG stuff, the pixel art, the red, blue, and yellow, and the Game Boys and the Game Boy Advanced, and the Nintendo 3DS lines and the DS lines and all those games. Switch has been great so far, though. But like every time they do something this new, I'm always afraid that they might break it. Pokemon's a tried and true recipe, and I feel like the farther and farther they get from it, I'm always afraid they're going to try like an action RPG or something. It's going to completely not be Pokemon to me. But I know some people love that, and lots of like people who coming to the franchise, right, might want something more in line with what other stuff they play. That's just not what I look for in Pokemon. When I play Pokemon, I want Pokemon.
So you're talking, you really just enjoy the classic like JRPG style game, like less action, more of the same.
Something about it. I can play it going to sleep at night, and it winds you down and lulls you to sleep. That I still go back and beat the original black and white versions. The ones that are in black and white and are red and blue and all that. Once a year, I just go back and beat them just because I love them. I enjoy them. I play the remakes and stuff too, but something about it not being even in color, just the simpleness of that. So like, I'm not one that flashy graphics aren't going to impress me with Pokemon. But they have a lot of them in this new game. Lots of new flashy stuff and open world stuff. So we'll see. We'll see.
What? Just real quick, what did you think of Sword and Shield or Arceus?
Now, I didn't like Arceus, sadly. I tried it. I played it. I didn't really care for it. It was cool. It was just like too many buttons for me. And I play a lot of different video games. Some of them are very complex. I play everything from MOBAs to shooters. So I can do lots of buttons. But in Pokemon, it didn't feel right. It was like crouch and aim and throw. And like there's too much stuff going on, that like I just like being able to relaxingly stroll around and catch Pokemon and talk chat boxes. And what felt really off to me was it's so advanced, but yet it's still there's no voiceover or anything.
Interesting. Okay, this is see, I really enjoy. I'm more of a like let's make this a little more open. I'm like less of the original. Let's start creating this series, right? So there's going to be a good balance as we discuss this. And I'm no like Pokemon connoisseur or anything like that. Like I think next week we should just talk our histories with Pokemon, and we will learn about you and why you love this series and why I've only played a handful of them, and I have some cool Pokemon stories of just like getting some kind of like how I got Soul Silver and stuff like that, like for dirt cheap. So we'll hit that next week. But as far as Scarlet and Violet, I think the first thing we're going to look at is the region. Yeah.
So let's jump into that. And just one more thing before we jump into that, because I know now I sound like I only love the old stuff, but we'll talk about our experience more next week. I just want to say I also am into competitive battling in the latest versions. So for Sword and Shield, I beat the game front to back. I own all the versions. I have competitively bred Pokemon that you can play in the pro scene, several teams, and I played in several tournaments with that. So I actually am cutting edge with Pokemon, and I do appreciate all the new stuff. I just have a soft spot for that old stuff. So, but let's go ahead and jump into that region. So new region is called Paldea. I'm probably mispronouncing it, but it's based. They're inspired by the Mediterranean, Spain. So that's cool. We haven't been there yet in the Pokemon universe. And every game is based off. All the regions are always based off a real world place. Like a good example was they did one based off Hawaii, right, with all the islands.
Wait, was that X?
Sun and Moon.
That's what I meant. I'm sorry. That's
yep.
Yeah. No, I thought it was X. I think I don't know.
Yeah, X and Y. I forget where it was. It's somewhere in Europe, I think.
Got it. Okay.
But they always do something else. So this is Spain. I'm excited to see what it is. Most of the screenshots I've seen so far are like open grass areas. So maybe that's the Mediterranean part of Spain. You know what I mean? So
okay.
We'll see. Let's see. They said that this is, you were talking about open world and how like you kind of like that about Arceus. They said this is going to blow that out of the water. They are riding that train hard. They're saying this is not on rails. Legends Arceus wasn't even open world compared to this. This is truly like pick which gym you want to go to in which order. Do whatever you want. That's what they're saying. So we'll see if it falls on its face or if they actually pull it off. Do you think they're going to be able to do that?
I mean, after what they did in Arceus, I think it's possible. My biggest like concern with Arceus or beef with it was like the just sitting and running out and having to capture so many to be able to progress the game. I was just kind of like, okay, this is taking a little bit longer than I would like. Now, there's a good chance I'm not doing something right and I'm in like the wrong region that's giving me lower scores for the Pokemon I'm catching, which would not surprise me at all because it's Pokemon. But having that open world and less on rails, it excites me. I know, like just looking at a few of these screenshots that we have in front of us, like the graphics are starting to improve, right? They're still not where we would love to see them, right? These still feel like some of these games that the textures don't quite feel like they're there. Like I'm ready to see Pokemon in Unreal Engine 5 or something along those lines, right? Where it really ramps up. And
you and I have had some dealings with like video game studios. We've talked with them. We've done some work for some video game studios that actually produce video games. So I've seen what you can make, and I've seen people produce way higher quality graphics than this. And it doesn't take nearly as long as you think. So I don't know what the holdup is for Pokemon. Could be the software. I mean, could be the hardware, right? It's because we're on Switch. But I mean, you've got Skyrim on Switch, made like 20 years ago, and it looks better graphically than this. I don't know.
I do want to say though, as we're watching, like the graphics are improved. Like there's no question there that this is a step in the right direction, right? You look at Arceus and it does feel a little bit bland. Sword and Shield was definitely like, where's the life here, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if you played Pokemon Snap. I did not. I haven't played it yet, but the way it looked was like, man, if we could have a Pokemon game that looked like Snap, that would be incredible.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, this region looks it looks cool.
I see Gyarados, man, in the water. I'm happy.
Yeah,
my favorite Pokemon. He's here. He's in the water. The one thing I didn't get in all the research I'm looking at so far either, which is kind of a new mistake. I didn't see how many Pokemon they're bringing to the game. Maybe they haven't announced it yet. Have you heard anything on that?
All I know is that there's 17 new ones have been announced, but I don't know the total number yet.
Okay, yeah, I don't either, because that was the big deal about Sword and Shield when it came out. The big fuss about it was, for the first time ever, they didn't have all the Pokemon in the game, and they weren't going to put them in. They still didn't. They're still missing 20 or 30 or 40 Pokemon that are not in the game after all the DLC they brought in. I know they've got like 1,000 Pokemon at this point. But yeah, I wonder what they're going to do here. So they're going to rectify the situation, or they're going to stick to their guns, because what they said in the interview.
As of September 2022, we know of 181 Pokemon from past generations that will be returning to Pokemon Scarlet and Violet.
Plus new ones, so there's usually 100, give or take. The smallest generations will have like 70 or 80, I think, and the biggest ones will have like 150, I think, or 300. I think the biggest one might have been 150 with black and white with the reboots, I think.
Our article from Game Rant is saying it could be anywhere from 134 to over 157 new species in the Pokedex.
Yeah, that sounds about right. So I get my numbers off a little bit, but sounds about right. So, I mean, I have it out of order on our agenda here, but I mean, we should talk about the roster for a second since we are, and then we'll double back because I have multiplayer up on there too, but we'll circle back to that. So the roster, right? We know of the 17 new ones, right? And do you like any of them?
I mean, I think I think because the wheels move on Violet, I'm definitely going with Violet. on the motorcycle Pokemon, whatever, with the crotch rocket.
I guess I'll play Scarlet then. If you're playing Violet, I'll play Scarlet. We'll have both ends covered. I'm buying the double pack though, so I'll have both of them.
So am I. I usually do, even though I usually don't touch one of them. I get them both. So
what about your starter then? You going with the Sprigato, the little green grass fox? Are you going with like the fire lizard thing, or the water duck?
It's interesting because I went grass type on Sword and Shield. I liked the little monkey drummer or whatever his name was. I can't remember, but chat usually decides for me. I usually nice. Fire up my stream and then it's kind of we'll do a poll or something. So I'll probably do something similar and let the community decide. Here's what happens when I play Pokemon games. Usually somebody in my chat is like, hey, I'm going to give you the 3 starters. And then I start with all of them. So I don't really have to choose.
Nice.
So that's always been a bonus. Like I had the legendary at like a quarter of the way in on Sword and Shield, because somebody was like, here, take this. I was like, what is this? They're like, well, you won't get it till later, so have fun with it. I was like,
my goodness.
Oh, okay.
All right. That's awesome.
So yeah. So oftentimes that's how it goes. If I had to just choose though, I'd probably go grass. I don't know.
I always go grass. And then like a second playthrough, sometimes I'll go fire, water, try something different. But
I have a feeling the fire type is gonna look pretty cool in his final form. And that's kind of what I like to base it off of. They usually get pretty, they usually end up looking pretty awesome. The Howard the duck
doesn't. Yeah, well, yeah. What about a duck?
I mean, if he's all like muscular, I'm here for it. So
okay. I'm not a big duck fan, but we'll see. If that fox stays on 4 legs, I'm sold. If that fox goes to 2 legs, nothing wrong with 2-legged Pokemon. I love me some 2-legged Pokemon, but not on a fox. Can we just keep it on 4 legs, please? We haven't done that generation after generation after generation. Now we're going to 2 legs always. Please keep them on 4 legs. I just want to see the fox on 4 legs, and I'll go with the fox.
Not a fan of Incineroar?
I mean, he's cool. That's what I'm saying. There's nothing wrong with him. I kind of wish that they done a fire cat in 4 legs. You know what I mean? Would have been cool. But
Yeah.
he is a cool Pokemon, and I guess he's more cool because he's super competitive. Every VGC team has him on it or had him on it. 100% of them almost. Like he's a must-have for your team. He's just too good. So that's cool. He's a cool Pokemon. I think out of the new batch, the Ceruledge, dude is freaking like swords out of his arms. Like
Right.
that guy looks cool. I need
Right.
one of those. I don't even know if it's any good, but I need one of those.
Yeah,
So.
and Armorage or whatever. I was thinking the same thing. I really like the look.
Yeah.
Do you think those will be exclusive?
Do you think they'll be good? I bet you. Because look at one's red like Scarlet and one's like Violet. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh no.
We're gonna have to do some trading.
You're gonna have to do some trading. And then you got Lechonk. You know how many Lechonk memes there were with that little pig?
Oh yes, of course. Yeah, he was amazing.
He's a troll. And Wiglet, I think Wiglet takes the cake for me. I'm a big Diglett fan, and having a giant, long, slender white Wiglet poking out of the ground and slapping things. I don't know.
Hilarious.
We're gonna keep it family friendly.
Yeah.
Wiglet.
I was
Wiglet
like, where's this going?
Trick.
I'm gonna have to bleep this one, I think. No, I mean they look pretty rad, honestly.
If I could have Wiglet as a starter, can I choose him as my starter?
Yeah, I mean, we can see what we can do. We can see what we can do. The little like chunky is it Pommy? Looks like a fox or I don't even know what, but
yeah.
I don't know how they like at this point. I'm like, how do they even come up with the names and or the like the designs for these things? Like
generally, because they're all based off real animals or real things in the world, like all Pokemon are. So it may not seem like it, but they'll base it off of like that. The Pawnee one's probably some form of like flying squirrel, monkey kind of deal, and it's going to be a real species, half the name chopped, mixed with something that the Pokemon does, if it's fire or hot or heat or flying or gliding, and they're going to take 2 words in different languages and mush them together, and that's kind of how they get it. Of course, it's a different name in English than it is in German, than it is in Chinese, and than it is in Japanese. They're all different names, but they always mash it like that. So it is like Lechonk. It has something to do with pigs, almost guaranteed. I don't know what it is, but if we looked it up, somebody will crack the code for us and let us know why they chose that name.
I see. Okay, interesting. Yeah, it must be Pommy must be based on a chubby lemur. That's the only thing I can.
I'm gonna guess it's lots of Spanish, right? So Spirigato, that little green fox, and Fuecoco, those sound very Hispanic to me.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Or at least they do, and so does the Quaxley. I bet you those are Spanish words for animals that those things are based off of, and they're probably from Spain. They're probably gonna be found in Spain. Lots of these animals, so that's probably where they came from.
That's super cool. That's very cool. So yeah, excited to see some of these in game. You know,
yeah, me too.
About a month out or so. So that'll be excited. Next on the list here looks like we want to jump into multiplayer.
Yeah, let's do that. So, so Sword and Shield had multiplayer where you could do raid battles, and then there's the open world wild areas, right? That you could actually connect to the internet and see other people playing, and you could even teleport to your friends and run around with them. Very limited, only a small part of the game. This is toting. It's going to be way better than that. You can run it sounds to me like you can run through the entire game with your friends, essentially. You know, give or take maybe some private cutscenes or other things like that, right? But they said you can explore everything, an open adventure. And of course, they're bringing back raids, which is another section we're going to talk more specifically about. But they're doing raids again. Did you like that stuff? Did you play that stuff?
I thought it was fantastic. I wish they had. It felt a little bit tacked on versus really fleshed out. But it was nice to just have something, especially for streaming, right? To be able to invite people in and play was great. I just wish there could have been basically what I wanted was to explore, and now we're going to get to do that. What I would really like is to explore dungeons, if you will. So where it's a little less open and you have to kind of work and stay together in order to get to the end of it. You know, it's probably asking a lot. I understand.
Yeah.
But I would love I would love the more I'm all about community and multiplayer, right? So
Mhm.
the more the merrier. I would love to get weird with this a little bit and play game modes that are similar to Arceus, but they're completely open world where everybody gets the same list of Pokemon they have to catch and it's a race.
That'd be cool.
I would love that. I think it would be a lot of fun, and maybe have some cool like prizes for completing different ones, or however they would work it. Different pieces of gear that you could get. So it's just cosmetics. It's nothing. But as you've done these like Pokemon little treasure hunts or whatever, like scavenger hunts, it would be. It would just add another level of community play, and I mean, and it wouldn't have to all be the same. Like you could set it up, and it was kind of asynchronous or whatever, where just everybody plays on their game, but it keeps track of who's catching what or whatever. You kind of check your little book. I would love something like that. I think it would be great because you could just chat and maybe talk some trash or whatever. Like, yo, I've already got 4 of the 10. Where you at? What are you doing? Like. That kind of thing. So I think that would be super fun. So the more the merrier. But what about you when it comes to multiplayer? Because you like the OG experience. What are your thoughts?
I'm really big into multiplayer games. If most of the games, if not all the ones that I actually play, aside from Pokemon, are multiplayer. So I play competitive stuff with other people, co-op stuff, competitive stuff, sometimes survival stuff with other people, MMOs. So I'm very much like it. I think it's actually exactly what Pokemon needs, because it gives me my single player adventure when I'm not with friends and family and that, right? But if I want to have a sibling game night and play with my brother or my sister, or I want to play with my kids, or just play with you or someone, right? We can get on and play the same game, but I like that about it. I like that it allows you to take it online for sure. So I'm here for it.
What do you think about the raids overall? Like, are you glad they're coming back?
Yeah, for sure. They're good content. We need more of that. It looks like they're making them a little more open this time. Like you can, we can talk a little bit more about that. But you can use multiple moves, even you don't have to wait on other people. And I wonder if you'll be able to run around while it's happening too, like kind of like you did in Legends Arceus. But also, they're adding like a new feature where you can cheer for people instead of use a Pokemon move, and cheering can heal Pokemon. So you could be like the raid healer for your group.
There you go.
So it seems like they're introducing some more traditional roles.
I like
because there's obviously there's tanky Pokemon. There's ones that do more damage, and now they have the ability to heal Pokemon in a fight instead of using a move as a trainer. So I like where it's going. I think it's going to add some complexity. It would be even cooler if you could do like multi-battles with people, fight other players, that way, 2-on-2, and be able to heal Pokemon, and that'd be cool.
Most definitely. Yeah, for sure.
That has not been confirmed to be in the game in any way. I'm just saying that would be cool. So people getting excited. No, DJ said we're gonna be able to fight each other.
Yeah.
Oops, no, DJ's in trouble.
DJ that's we'll get your Twitter. What's your Twitter so they can at you?
I'm at Jedi DJ. So with
there
a 3.
You go. Jedi DJ with a 3 instead of an E in Jedi. So
you got it. So
there you go.
Hey, let's talk Pokemon professors. This kind of random one to throw in there. It doesn't really fit anywhere in the discussion, but it's something people talk about, so we can talk about it. For the first time ever, they're doing 2 different professors. For the very first time ever. So it's a different professor depending on the version you get. One's a guy, one's a girl. It's called Sada, one's called Turo. I couldn't tell you which one's which. I guess Turo's probably the guy. But
I just got my haircut based off of Turo, just so everybody knows. Like if you're watching the video here, I can show you. Just got my hair cut, just so.
And I'm growing mine out. Hopefully, it'll be ready by launch, so I can be Sada. And
I'm your local Pokemon professor, whatever you need.
So I mean, I wrote down here in my notes, just so I was kind of thinking back, and I was like, they've always done different Pokemon you can catch, all the way back to Red and Blue. You can catch Bellsprout in Blue, right? But you can't catch them in Red. So like they've always done that sort of thing where they have different reverse Pokemon. They've also done different gym leaders in some of the later versions, like just 1 or 2 gym leaders, not usually a lot, just 1 or 2 different ones. And then the bad guy teams have almost always been different, not in the original OG ones, but after that it turned into a different bad guy team for the 2 different versions. About halfway through the series, probably, I think. But they never done 2 different professors. But why not? I don't even think this is big news, honestly. But why not just make them more different? The more different they make the 2 versions, the more people might actually want to play them and do them or buy them both. So.
And that's a great point. With there not being that many differences, it's kind of like, why would I fire up, Diamond over Pearl or Pearl over Diamond when it's just there's such subtle differences. So
yeah, I have every version, right? But one of the versions usually stays in plastic because I'm just like, why? I don't need I just beat the game and I'm playing it to death and I'm playing it competitively. I don't need to go back and beat it a second time, the same exact game. Now, if it was different, 100%, sure, I'm going to go back. So we'll see how different they can make them over the years, I guess. I don't think this is going to be it. But
we're going to get into some new and returning features.
Let's do it. So, yeah, they're bringing back Pokemon Can Follow You. That's a fan favorite. Everybody loves that. There's no reason not to love that. That all goes all the way back to Pokemon Yellow. So it's cool that they're making that kind of a mainstay with the series, it seems like, in every game that comes out. Now they can follow you, at least one of them. So that's cool. And the new feature, though, is called Let's Go, which is kind of funny because we have Pokemon Go and Pokemon Let's Go. So now we have a feature called Let's Go. Where you can tell your Pokemon to run off in a direction, and he'll find items and auto-battling, so you don't have to grind him. You can just send him off, and he'll go level up. What do you think about that?
I mean, I like that. Because there's a lot of times that I only play with my team, period. Then it never changes. Like once I have so to be able to maybe send some out and have them leveled up and be ready to go for different encounters, because here's the thing about me and Pokemon. I'm not great. I don't have all of the different types memorized on what's strong, like obviously water, fire, the basic ones. Sure. But beyond that, I'm like, what's good against, like, was there Ghost? I'm like, I don't know, Luigi, like the Poltergeist. Like, I don't know. What do you, I have no idea. Right. So,
yeah.
And I open little charts and try to read and learn, but to be able to, potentially have 2 teams or 3 teams of different ones that you could send out and be leveling up alongside while you're playing through your stuff.
Well, I mean, that's kind of like the old daycares, right? You could drop one off the daycare and he levels up. This is actually specific to one. I think that's following you. So while you're running around, I think you can tell him to go off in whatever direction you're facing, and he'll just do stuff in the open world while you're doing stuff in the open world.
So it won't actually help then as far as leveling up Pokemon that aren't on your team.
I don't think so.
Got it.
I'm
okay.
Not sure. But in Sword and Shield, not in Sword and Shield, but the Sun and Moon, they had like a mini game area you uploaded to, like you went to this other place and you could drop off your Pokemon and play mini games with them and leave them there, and they would essentially level up or breed or you're on EVs and IVs or whatever. Like they're doing all kinds of stuff. So I wouldn't be surprised if there were some features in there that allow that to happen.
I've got my Pokewalker, so if I could use that thing, that'd be great. And I got a couple of the Pokeballs from Let's Go also.
Mm-hmm.
So
I have one of those, and then my dog chewed it up, and it's still okay, but it's not. No. I was so sad. I'm like, you don't understand, dog. It's a $60 Pokeball. What are you doing? Well, I don't have that dog. No, I'm just kidding. I still have him. But,
oh no. Okay. That's
you
sad.
Can't get those anymore either. Really, they're not really available. So.
Every now and again, I'll keep an eye out for you. Because I have a few different retro game stores. They get some kind of weird imported stuff periodically. That's like still legit, but like, how'd you get this? Like the Xenoblade Chronicles 2 controller just randomly showed up at their stores. I'm like, what? Or the Smash Pro controller just randomly showed up at their stores. I'm like, okay. So
nice. Go grab them when you can.
So there you go. And again, I mean, so I'm learning about this Pokemon stuff as we go. So if I say something dumb, DJ is going to correct me. So you don't have to leave us a bad review. I'm trying. Okay. I'm putting the effort in here to understand Pokemon and get a better grasp on it and understand it. So, because I think there's going to be a lot that we can do with the community here, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun. So
I think so. Yeah. If you guys love Pokemon, if you guys enjoy these episodes, and you guys gonna be playing Pokemon, I'm down. I'll help host some events. We'll get some stuff going in Discord. We can do tournaments. We can do just group play stuff. We'll see what the game allows, right?
So, we'll make our own scavenger hunts if we have to.
We will. Be awesome.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah, so we can blaze through a couple of these new features here we have, and just talk about the ones we find most interesting, right? It looks like they're bringing back traditional gyms, Pokemon League, Victory Road. I just saw that stuff in the trailers, and so that's all kind of coming back, which is the OG gym experience, which is a little different than Sword and Shield, because Sword and Shield wasn't really gyms, like it kind of was, but it was also like big stadium battles and stuff. And what was the other one they did? Was it the Sun and Moon? That wasn't gyms either, really. It really wasn't. It was like island leaders. So they're bringing it back around now to what seems to be a really more traditional gym, which I think people like better. I could be wrong, but in my wanderings around the internet, it seems people like the gym stuff better, the original kind of playthrough. But we'll see.
I can tell you this: when Pearl came out, everybody on the other NPC hosts were like, what do you mean you've already beat this game? I could not stop playing Pearl. Like it felt like I was back in Yellow again, and I couldn't. And having just the traditional gyms, the last gym I was like, this is impossible. I think I tried 15 different times to finally beat that one.
I had such a good time with Diamond Pearl, the ones that just came out there. That was so much fun. It was cool, but that's what we were talking about at the beginning. That's what I enjoy. It doesn't have to be fancy to me. It has to be Pokemon, and that was genuine Pokemon. Some people were like, it's too much like the originals. It was like a legit, like a copy paste reboot. I was okay with it.
I was too. Yeah,
I'm okay with that.
I was too. The only thing it did though is it made it hard to play Arceus, because I was like, I'm like Pokemon'd out right. I've got a little Pokemon fatigue, you know.
That happens, burns you out. So I get burnt out all the time. I don't play Pokemon nonstop. You know, I go through 3 or 4 months where it's all I do. Take a little break, you know, but it's always there for me. I always love it. I really like about Pokemon, I'm a big collector, and I know you're a collector to an extent too, right? So with big collecting things, I like that Pokemon allows you to do that and allows you to move them from game to game, even from your phone into your Switch. Like, I like that about it. Now you can keep them all in your bank. I think that's the coolest thing. It makes it so like when
I pay for home, I have no idea really what it does. So, you know,
you stick them all in there, you know, and like the game never dies. You move on. We're all moving on to Scarlet and Violet, but all the work we did in the previous games is coming with us. We don't lose it. It's not like it's the end of an era. Like all those Pokemon, the ones we bred, the ones we have for teams, the ones we collected, they all come with us. You get to bring it on and carry it on. I've always liked that about Pokemon. So
it's cool. The other thing is they tend to support these games. They're small little supports. Like there's a DLC that might come out. You know, we'll probably see a DLC next year, I'm assuming, for this game, right? But then like they'll randomly do like the different letters that give you an exclusive Pokemon if you go and get the gifts or whatever. Like I kind of like that there's the little, they're subtle. They're not major, but they're there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I really liked years ago when they were doing like the GameStop giveaways and you show up and you get a free Pokemon. I know they do that sometimes, but they did like a year worth of mythical ones where you got all the old ones. You came once a month and you got all the old mythical Pokemon from the old games. And it was a great way for people who didn't have all the old games to get them. Because some of these Pokemon, this was like the only time you were able to get them in the past so many years. Some of them have special abilities and stuff. Like, so from a collector standpoint, whether they're shiny or they're regular or they have special moves you can only get from certain places you would get these, like events or going to GameStop. Some of these are very special. Like they have this famous surfing Pikachu, you know, that has surf, and Pikachu can't learn surf. You know, so like then having that and showing it off to your friends and stuff, like if you like collecting Pokemon's the game for you. So
I'm trying to find my, there we go. I got Pokemon Home next to Pokemon Smile, which I use every night, you know, to brush my teeth. And so I think somebody gave me a full Pokedex for Sword and Shield, if I remember correctly.
Oh, that's cool. That's nice. And then you got to get a living dex and you put all of them in your home and you have every single Pokemon ever done. You have your living dex. And then once you've done that, you know, you upgrade to doing a shiny dex where you have one of every shiny Pokemon. So. Okay.
I have 243 in my home.
It's not bad. You're only missing like 750, give or take.
I got some work to do, apparently. So
you need to, that's going to be your stream, collecting one of every Pokemon.
There we go.
10 years.
Yeah, there we go. So, okay. Well, any other new and returning features we want to jump into before moving along?
Yeah, multiplayer. Speaking of multiplayer, Battle Stadium is their version of being able to battle people across the internet. They have ranked battles, casual battles. They're bringing back rental teams again.
That's
so
cool.
The online battling, that's there, which is good because if anyone wants to online battle, jump in our Discord, and I'll online battle you. You know, it's the one thing I've done for fun too in the past is like battling with the team you beat the game with. You know, that's easy for anybody to do because you didn't breed them, you didn't grind them. You know, you played with the team you caught wildly, and it makes it kind of easy competitive for everybody. But you battle me after that, dude, and I'm gonna slap you. So I'm gonna have a team that's gonna be ready to rock.
And I know there's a handful of people. There's probably a few people that end up joining us for episodes periodically that are very, very competitive when it comes to Pokemon. So
nice.
The only thing they need to add is a way to spectate so that I can stream these things. I want to stream tournaments, but I can't
stream your we're not spectating as much, right? But if you were in the battle, you could. No,
if I was in it, but I want to be able to just watch and commentate.
Well, maybe we could hook up one of the switches and live stream it, and then you could commentate on other people playing. You get a bunch of people in from the Discord. We'll do like a tournament, and like we'll stream all the matches on the TV. That way you can commentate and watch them. That'd be cool. It has to be a smaller tournament.
Get different, just have other streamers. You mean?
Is that I guess. Yeah, I guess. So you'd have to be battling one of the streamers. You'd have to be the streamer or battling one of the streamers, and that's what it would have to be. You'd have to make it. We'll have to figure it out. But I bet you could do it, so you could get every single episode, every battle on the stream somehow.
Potentially,
small tournament.
And if it was large, we would just make sure that we have people that are streamers lined up. We'll
there you go. Yeah, just so that you see a lot of the matches and then stream the finals. You know
exactly. Yeah. So there you go. But hopefully they'll throw us a little bone here and be like, hey, wait, this could be a good idea to let them spectate. You know, they're letting us like
to that.
They do.
That's how you catch on like wildfire. That's how you get trendy. They need to get more of those features in here for us so we can share it with everyone. You know, you get Twitch streamers playing it. You know what I mean? Like we need that.
Yep. So. Exactly that. Like it's just community. Like I want community to play these games with. So
there's some new battle items coming. I don't want to bore anybody. If you're interested in hearing about battle items, I will talk battle items with people all day long. We talk item and why its uses and how good it is. But they've teased 3 new ones for people, which is a covert cloak. So it kind of prevents paralyzes and burns and things like that. And they've got loaded dice, which makes your moves hit more times than normal if it's a multi-hit move. And then they've got a new herb, a new mirror herb that copies an opponent's stat boost. So if you like Dragon Dance on Gyarados, this would copy his Dragon Dance to yours if you have a mirror herb on you. Stuff like that. It's not anything too exciting, honestly, but you know, more items is more chance for people to come up with cheese, you know, to figure something out to surprise people. So I'm down for that. It's fine.
I like it. That's great.
It looks like they're doing outdoor Pokemon centers. That's kind of cute. We have some pictures of them that we've seen, and I guess it allows them to plop a Poke Center down anywhere in the world since it's so open world. You don't have to be in a city. So I think that's what they're going for with it.
It is worth noting too that all of the pictures that we're referencing and whatnot will be in a post on n64josh.com that you guys will be able to check out.
Yes, we're going to put up a post. It's going to take a lot of work to do it, so please check it out once it's up. It's going to take a lot of work to put all it in there.
Yes, it is.
Rotom is returning. He's your little like sidekick buddy, your conscience, your guy that helps guide you through the maps and makes it too easy to play. But that's okay. It's whatever. He's coming back as a phone this time.
It makes it too easy to play. I love it.
He's like, here, go to the highlighted section on your map. Back in the day, man, they were like, sorry, you can't pass here. I'm thirsty. You're like, what? Why is he thirsty? How can I get to the next city? You know, you put the game down. You quit right there. That was your challenge. You're done. You couldn't beat the game. Nowadays, They're like, don't worry. Just go over here to the glowing thing. It's flashing at you. And, you know, that's how you progress your game. So,
you okay? You all right? I feel like you're not friends with Rotom.
Getting heated. Heated here.
We'll take it. Are you thirsty? do we need to give you a drink before we can move on?
I think so. Probably. Oh, man.
So, legendary Pokemon.
Yeah, I mean, you said you like the purple one better.
The crotch rocket? Yeah.
Yeah, I think I do too. I think it's cooler, but I think just for the sake of doing it, I'm going to pick the opposite version of you and play it. But I think I'm with you. I think the purple one's cooler. And they're allowing you to ride them So because they are actually motorcycles / water bikes / airplanes, apparently you can fly them around the open world like dragons or something. That's kind of cool.
Very cool.
That's cool. I can't wait to do that. I think that'll help traversing the world a little better. They actually did that in Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire on the 3DS. You could fly Latios.
Wait. Did you just say Omega Ruby?
Yeah. Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. Sorry, those are the PG games. those are the X-rated versions.
So Ruby,
you can get them on eBay.
There we go. Okay, I'm sorry.
Have you seen those knockoff versions, like the anime girl versions, where like the Pokemons are all redone as anime girls?
I've not, but it does not surprise me at all.
And you can catch them and put them in Pokeballs. It's kind of creepy, honestly.
Yeah, that's a little weird. That is a little weird.
It's a little weired, but they sell them on eBay. You can go find them. I'm afraid it'll give your Game Boy a virus, but
they probably will. Wow.
Anyways, you can ride these new legendary Pokemon, so that's cool. Whatever. Let's see. We have two last things to talk about. The raid battles, which we did already kind of cover a lot. They're called Terra raid battles, and I guess the Pokemon have been Terra stylized. I guess maybe they have an additional type more than normal, so they may have 3 types instead of 2 or something. I don't know. I guess you can beat them. You can capture them just like in Sun and Moon. Or not in Sun and Moon, just like in
Sword and Shield?
Yes, thank you. Sword and Shield. That's what I have you here for. And then the new gimmick is, I'm not going to say this right. I haven't heard it enough times yet. It's Terra stylize. Sounds like a terrible thing to do to your Pokemon. It's not going to help with breeding. But Terra types, Terra Orbs, you get like this special orb thing. It looks like a transformer ball. And then you can put your Pokemon in it and you can charge it. You can charge this orb one time at a Poke Center, and then you can use it one time in a battle. And it adds a typing to the Pokemon. So if you're a Fire Dark, you can now be a Fire Dark Water. And what that would do is that would take away your fire weakness, essentially. So like that's the new gimmick. Instead of Gigantamaxing where you get huge or mega evolutions, it's this Terra thing.
Yeah, they turn into chandeliers and stuff.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yes, it's something like that, So and then I included in our notes here a list of all the typings, so that way Josh here can go through and tell us which ones are super effective. Go ahead, Josh.
This feels like school to me. Like there's normal, fire, water, grass, flying, poison, electric, ground, psychic, fighting, rock, ice, bug, dragon, ghost, dark, steel, fairy. Whew. Okay.
And you did all those from memory.
There'll be a quiz later. Yeah, I'm not reading our show notes or anything. I promise.
Did you see in, what was it, Sun and Moon, I think in Sword and Shield 2, they tell you what's super effective now in the games. So if you've seen a Pokemon before and you go to battle them again, it'll tell you what's super effective and what's not very effective, which is nice in the game.
That's awesome.
Yeah, if you didn't notice that, if you missed it, they have a little tiny text at the bottom of the moves now on all the moves, so it'll tell you what you can use. That's new, that's modern. I'm sure they'll do it again with this one. Although I don't think they did it with Legends Arceus.
They did.
They did?
Yeah.
Okay.
They did.
But they didn't do the Diamond and Pearl remakes. They didn't, though. So
I don't believe so. I don't believe so.
I don't think so either. This looks good, though. We're watching this footage here. If you guys are watching it with us on YouTube and you're seeing this footage, this is cool. The game looks good. There's that Cross Rocket.
There it is. There it is. So, DJ, give everybody your Twitter one more time where they can connect with you.
Oh, it's at J3DI DJ. So at Jedi DJ. That's with the 3.
There you go, guys. I'm N64 Josh everywhere, and let us know. We're gonna keep refining and getting these Pokemon shows down. You can expect some maybe shorter and like even more refined episodes in the future. We're gonna do longer, just kind of chatting and stuff like we did with this one. We're gonna have some fun here. I also really want to get into Unite because I still think Unite would be a lot of fun. I just, as of right now, just feel like all I do is run and press buttons, and I want to have I saw a TikTok today of Valdo, who will probably join us for one of these episodes, doing one of the most intense 1v1s I've ever seen in Unite. So that was
that game is so cool. Greninja is my favorite in that game. So he dashes and makes 2 of himself.
Okay.
And then you can throw double your moves.
Interesting.
So you get double damage basically, and they're not sure which one is you. So there's all kinds of cheesy gimmicks you can do, like jumping over walls and disappearing from people, and they still think you're there. Or you could split into two and then hold still, so they think the other one's you. Like you can do, but you can also just like hit people double stuff. Greninja's the best in that game. We'll have to get on and play together.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I would like to make sure it's a regular part of our conversation. So thank you guys so much. Again, give us some feedback in the Discord or hit us up on Twitter, as this is going to become a regular part of NPC doing Pokemon stuff. And we will see you in the next one. Bye, everybody.